Hey guys, and welcome to Relationship Chronicles. Today we have a cheating revenge story from one of my subscribers that I will walk you through with, and afterwards I'll give my opinion and advice to this subscriber on how to deal with this situation. Here we go. My wife accuses husband of cheating, but he has a surprise for her. So this comes from a person known by a friend of the actor. We talked a few times about what's going on in his life, and it's a story that is 9 going on 10 years now. But yesterday he called me and said that he would like to talk to me about some of the developments, and we went for coffee after dinner. After a bit of small talk, I asked him what was up, and he just handed me his cell phone and showed me a recording of the conversation he had with his wife a couple of days ago. I'm not going to include a backstory, as it all below, in his own words, throughout the conversation. So F will be the friend, and FW is friend's wife. F. So for the record, you've just entered the office in our house and asked me if I'm having an affair. And I asked you to record this conversation before answering. Is this correct? FW? Yes, it is. So you're going to answer me? Angry voice, almost screaming. F. Yes. FW. Yes, you answer me. F. Yes, I'm having an affair. FW, how long has this been going on? F, are you asking about the woman I've been with? About 2 years. FW shouting. 2 years. You've been unfaithful for 2 years. F, no. I've been unfaithful for 6 years. Motor at a point since the 6th of April, 2014. Yes, it was my birthday. I hired a call girl and spent a few hours in a hotel, a few piece. You know, why would you do this to me? F. Well, do you really want to have this conversation? Do you really want to go into the why? I'll tell you why. 9 years ago, you started to act different, and I couldn't wrap my head around why. There was nothing fundamentally different between us, and yet suddenly everything changed. I started to have to walk on eggshells around you, seemed that the fact I breed was irritating you, and I spent some time lost wondering why and trying to do the best I could. But things just seemed to be getting worse all the time. And then our fun time that was almost non-existent stopped altogether. And I found a piece of a condom wrapper in the car as I was cleaning it. And suddenly, the reason became clear. She tries to say something and mumbles, but he stops her. F, if you want to know why, you'll know why. Just let me continue. And then you'll say whatever you want to say. So in that moment, I felt pain like I've never experienced. I felt emasculated low. I felt there must be something wrong with me. I want to hurt you. I want to hurt me. But there thought about the kids and the fact that I love you so much. I decided I would win you back. But everything I did just seemed to annoy you. I took you to fancy restaurants, on romantic dates, took you on vacations, the places that you always said you want to get to know. But in reality, you will never there. You are glued to your cell phone, and I was completely transparent. You excuse yourself with overtime and work functions. And I picked up the house. The kids, you did nothing except work. And when you were at home, your cell phone, what's your world? But I was still trying. She can be her crying in the background. From that time on, we had some sort of half-baked pity sex on 2 occasions. The 6th of April, 2013 and 2014. On your birthday. In 2014, I went overboard, tried to plan a perfect evening for us as a family, for you to just bail out calling at the last minute saying you were stuck at work and will be late. Can you imagine the faces of our girls when you did this? Well, of course you can. But you never bothered to. They were heartbroken. This was the beginning of the end for me. I was going to divorce you and expose yours and your lover's life hire to pay, found all the proof that I needed all your dirty getaways, bound with a guy, lived down his wife. I followed them, you know. And guess what? You can't even imagine how sweet your lover is to his wife. Maybe he's overcompensate because of his guilt. And then I saw his kids that just couldn't bring myself to exploit their marriage. So I talked to lawyers about starting the divorce proceedings, but didn't. To start to see how this impacted us financially, how it has impacted our lives and the lives to kids. Let me tell you, at that time, if I found a way to get away with murder, I would have strangled you with my own hands. And then my 2015 birthday rod, and it was not even a half-big pity sex, not even a kiss, not even a card. You completely forgot you crying and shouting? Well, it's not like you did anything for my birthday as either F. Yes, but I didn't forget them. I purposely didn't give a damn about them. But in your case, I do believe that I was so unimportant to you that you really forgot. And you didn't. Well, then we are on same boat, aren't we? She just cries F. So that night, I hired an escort. And Bangor in same hotel, you were at your lover. And then I decided that the kids were really the most important thing. That not messing them up with all this was important. Because they were already suffering from the neglect. You were showing them FW and neglect. What are you talking about? If you want to ask them how they feel, go ahead, talk to them and ask them. I dare you to silence F. So that's when we really had some blowouts, if you remember. But, I knew your lover would never leave his family. So I knew that unless I did something, you wouldn't either. And if you did, well, I really not to lose. And in the end, we would manage that when I stopped doing everything and started calling you out when you were in a bad mood because the clothes weren't washed or ironed. And I started telling you to do it yourself. Fool. And so you decide to go behind my back. F. No, you are completely wrong. I never went behind your back. I never told you, but never hid it. At first, there was nothing really to talk about. After dead bedroom for 3 years, my confidence that anyone would even look at me didn't exist. When I started to gain some self-respect back, start working out more, stop drinking and smoking, start eating better, start living for the girls. And you know what? Can you imagine I'm a divorced soccer moms are out there? It seemed that I wasn't that bad. After all, it seemed that the problem wasn't me, it was you. Then 2 years ago, I met my current girlfriend. The kids know her at family events where you didn't want to go from my side of family, never took it to your parents, even though they know who my parents know F. Of course, I told them. I didn't want some room to get to them and didn't want misunderstandings. I wanted them to know what was happening in our lives and their grandkids' lives. I asked everybody to keep it a secret because as I didn't want to disrupt our lives, I didn't want the drama and everything else. And as our marriage, which is a piece of paper, FW, everybody knows all of this. F just the kids in our immediate families. That's why I never went back to your parents' house and why I stopped telling you to come to mine, but going back, I never hid it from you. I left Facebook Messenger open, my mail is logged in our home computer, and my phone doesn't have a password. You just never cared the same way that I didn't feel obligated to tell you. And after I fell in love with you, I didn't care either. After all, we didn't even talk. We spent weeks where we didn't say a word to one another. We became two strangers living under the same roof. Nothing more, that is what we are, just cries and cries. F, but I knew this conversation would be coming. To be honest, I never expected it would begin with you accusing me of cheating. I think even you can see the hypocrisy. Remember the phones I gave you for your birthday through the years? You think I did it because I loved you? Nope. They all had spyware on them. I've been reading your conversation for at least 5 years now, so I know where you've been, when, if I want to. I can even know how many times you fought him in the back seat of your car or his, and then without warning, all communication stopped 2 months ago. And I still have the pressure around the house as all of a sudden, the work they need you as much as it used to wonder why. And then I did some digging and found out about his accident, how he is paraplegic and being taken care of by the wife, he was never going to leave. He can't even move his arms to send you a farewell texts. So how nice you started to be to our girls and to me, even though you were depressed. I knew this was coming. So I want to tell you how it's going to be if you want divorce. I got 9 years of proof of infidelity, and I will take you to the cleaners. If you want to get out of the house but not get divorced, you can. But as solely your problem financially speaking, I would advise you to keep things as they are, at least until our younger ones goes to college in a couple of years. You can find another boyfriend or have your book. As long as you are discreet, even though I know it will be different now because you're almost 50. You can always find someone to bone you, but I doubt you'll find someone that wants something more meaningful. As for me, life will go on as it has in the last 9 years. There was more stuff in the recording, but this was the most important part as I saw it. I asked him if I could transcribe it and put it here. And he agreed, so he knows is it posted? I don't know if he's a Reddit user. How do you guys feel about what his life was for the last 9, almost 10 years? As always, sorry for grammar and some errors, as I'm not a native English speaker. Let's move on to my thoughts and advice for the person that is dealing with this problem. It's clear that there has been a significant breakdown in communication between your friend, F, and his wife, FW. Their inability to openly discuss their problems and concerns led to a festering of issues over the years. Infidelity is a deeply hurtful act and can cause immense pain to all parties involved. It's clear that F's actions were driven, at least in part, by a sense of frustration and neglect in his marriage. The emotional impact on both F and FW is evident. The impact on their children is significant. F mentions how the children have suffered from the neglect and tension in their household. This highlights the importance of maintaining a healthy family environment for the well-being of the children. It appears that F used the confession as a way to finally reveal his side of the story and bring some closure to their troubled marriage. In the end, this story illustrates the destructive impact of unresolved issues, lack of communication, and infidelity in a marriage. It's a reminder of the importance of open and honest communication, trust, and mutual respect in any relationship. Whether FW chooses to forgive and work on their marriage, or if they decide to part ways, seeking professional counseling could be beneficial for both parties to help them navigate the emotional complexities of their situation. I wish you the best of luck moving forward. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to today's stories. If you enjoyed listening, please feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, comment below with your thoughts on what happened. Take care.